game and
Yeah. I just want to apologize, folks. You know, here at the Newsletter Censored Research Center, we're supposed to have some work done, construction, repair of a couple things, and it was supposed to be today, but it's raining out. So the guy came over to tell us that it's raining out.
Because we didn't stick our finger out the window.
No, I told you it was raining when I got here.
And the weatherman said no rain today.
Who cares what the weatherman said? Anyway, he came to tell us that it was raining. Meanwhile, I'm the one that drove in the rain, and I announced to everybody that it's raining. So, of course...
So we had an interruption.
We had a big... No, it's not a big... It is a big deal. Yeah. We had an interruption, and I had to stop the camera.
All right, cool.
And I just better hope our people can edit that out. Normally, I said I was going to, you know, add a little humor and, you know, integrate it into the show, but I don't see any humor in somebody telling me that it's raining. You know, well, I guess he wanted to tell us that, you know, there's no sense in working on the roof when it's raining. It's all common sense. Anyway. Yeah, I was interrupted.
What did I say?
Fuck.
What did I say? I said...
Motherfucker.
How is it that the people at the march, bitch, or whatever, to get a law passed or don't pass a law or something, but Monsanto only has to walk in and grease the politician's hand, and they get the laws that they want.
Lobbyists. They send their lobbyists in, and they pay congressmen and senators off, and they get their way out. But the people have to march.
That's right.
Well, why don't... All right, I have a solution. Why don't the people simply stop voting for two-party system candidates and vote for a progressive independent? That's a solution.
No parties.
Listen,
progressive independent.
Dr. Bill,
vote for a
Dr.
person.
Bill is insisting that the word independent represents a particular party.
Correct.
No. Independents are people. Independents are people that are separate from the Democrats and the Republicans. Those are independents. Independents could be Green Party people. They could be Reform Party people.
See what you're doing? No parties.
Okay.
None.
All right.
Zero.
So Jesse Ventura wants to run as an independent.
No.
Then
no
what is he?
Parties.
What is he?
He's a man who has ideas and policies, and you vote that way.
But he's,
don't vote by a party.
He's still independent of the two-party system.
We don't want parties anymore. So if you're gonna, what are you gonna be independent from if we don't have any parties? You got people.
In other words,
who have policies and ideas.
In other words, let's say Ralph Nader wanted to run again. It would be Ralph Nader and Ralph Nader's platform and his policies and his opinions and Ralph Nader's system. So Ralph Nader is not obligated to any particular group, any particular political group.
No.
That's
no
what
parties.
You're talking about. No,
that's correct.
Partyless.
And then you have to find a way of getting the money out, and then you have to find a way of putting these people before the people, so that people can hear what they want, hear what they see, boob, and then they can vote.
And then you have people that fund your campaign that you owe favor.
No money. How can you fund a campaign?
He's in a very interrupting mood today. How can you fund a campaign?
Well, how can you go back to the same old shit? What the hell do you think the problem is?
I'm saying if they're affiliated with a party, then they have to be obligated to campaign contributions.
No money.
Oh yeah, just because you say that. No money at all. Nothing. No money. All right. How do people get to know who you are?
I just said it, didn't I? You have to find ways of doing that. Change the system. What's so hard to understand here? The whole system right now is rotten and corrupt.
Listen, it sounds like what I said in the past.
Jeez.
if a child from a poor neighborhood, from a ghetto, has extremely high IQ, that child should not be kept out of college, out of school, because of lack of funds. That child, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. What he's saying, what Bill's saying, if somebody is a candidate that really should be president of the United States.
Well, how do we know that? We don't know that. He's going to go up against other people, a bunch of people. They're going to have debates. They're going to have this.
You're the hard.
Change the system.
You're the hardhead who keeps on saying no money.
Right. Change the system.
Well, how do they get to know the person if there's no money involved?
Change the system.
Yeah.
What is so hard to understand? The system now is cracked. It's rotten.
Yeah,
it's corrupt.
And so are the external interruptions to the show, also rotten.
What the hell does that have to do with it?
Well, you were very nonchalant about it.
The system right now, in some points, you want to keep. I don't want to keep it. I want it all thrown out.
You lower your voice.
Not when you don't get what I'm saying.
Just like you said the cops should be like the Bobbies in London and not have any guns. That's ridiculous too.
To do with anything?
It's ridiculous. I don't know. I mean,
working for the Bobbies.
Yeah, so
they only have 35 murders a year. We have 12,000.
So you get blown away as a cop. Yeah.
You know?
But the point is, Jesse Ventura
don't want parties.
Is not affiliating himself with any particular party.
First of all, he's not running for anything. So why would he be affiliated with anything?
He said he wants to run in 2016.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. And run for what?
President of the United States.
His latest book does not say that.
But does his latest book say he will not run?
Yeah.
I will not run.
No, he don't come out and say that. He's not running for anything.
But he's made a statement that he's going to do something in that aspect in 2016.
Where did he make that statement?
I read about it.
Where?
From the conspiracy theory page.
Then whatever, but that's something else. We'll see. It remains to be seen.
Okay, I want to... Of course everybody knows about this before we were rudely interrupted, but it happens. Sometimes it happens. Angelina Jolie, of course, had the double mastectomy because her drug-pushing, allopathic, greedy doctor, the glorified drug dealer, medical doctor, told her she should have both her breasts removed because she has a genetic predisposition to breast cancer. And first of all, she's, a Hollywood starlet, and most of them are very eccentric, and well, they usually all are, and she's nuts. She goes to fourth and fifth world countries, and she adopts children in areas where they still have leprosy and diseases and all that. I mean, she does all kinds of wacky things. She spent Christmas in Syria with her kids, I think. Mm-hmm. A terrorist region. They're nuts. The people of Hollywood are crazy. I guess that's why they date and marry each other. So Angelina Jolie takes the advice of her drug-pushing medical doctor because she, based on the fact that she is afraid of getting cancer like some of her relatives did. Okay, so she's eliminating both her breasts. Both her breasts gone because of something she might get, because based on ifs. Well, a doctor agreed with me on Holistic Health Talk. A doctor from Canada agreed with me and said, hey, who's to say she can't get cancer anywhere else on her body? All right, she got rid of her breasts. She might still get cancer somewhere else. That doesn't eliminate the fear or eliminate the problem. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to keep on hacking off body parts because you're afraid of what you might get?
They do it in diabetes with circulation.
It's a racket.
First the toe, then the foot.
Just like
and the leg.
Jonathan Drake, my friend Jonathan Drake says the big cancer hoax, with the, what is it, Susan Komen Foundation?
Susan Komen, yeah, pink.
Pink ribbon. You know, the whole cancer industry is a hoax, just like what they don't tell you about HIV, the truth about AIDS, and you know, but the cancer industry, big revolving door. I'm sure they're tied into the food industry. I'm sure they're tied into the toxins in the supermarket, so on and so forth, and it just goes around and around, and they don't tell people the real truth. Of course, they know where cancer comes from. They know where heart disease comes from. They know how to prevent it. They know how to cure it. And it's not cutting essential fats out of your diet. And it's not cutting dietary cholesterol out, which is needed for sex hormones. You know, the raw material for sex hormones is dietary cholesterol. So they lie, basically. And it's a big racket, you know. So she's a fool. Angelina Jolie is definitely a fool, and Brad Pitt must have a big ring in his nose. He must be you know, he must be a real idiot also to go along with it and not try to convince his own wife not to have the double mastectomy. It's totally insane. And something happened with a friend of yours. She was given a prescription for tamoxifen.
No.
Was it? Well, that's
No,
what she told
had
me.
Surgery. A ductal carcinoma of the milk glands. Had it cut out,
Yeah.
and then they want preventive radiation therapy.
Told me she's taking the tamoxifen.
I know nothing about that.
I'm telling you what she told me.
It was either X-rays or tamoxifen. They are not the both together that I know of. The point is, as Mr. Garinell said the other day, that particular condition should be reclassified as not a cancer. And if you did nothing, it wouldn't come back. In 93% of cases, which have over a 10-year survival rate.
So they're misdiagnosing on purpose.
That's correct.
To make money.
To make money.
And the same thing goes for the great cancer hoax, with all the foundations collecting money and all the treatments that they're giving people now.
The war on cancer.
They still use chemotherapy, for God's sakes.
Chemotherapy does nothing but destruction. Nothing. Not only that, didn't you see what's coming out now? They are finding that, oh my gosh, different hospitals in different regions and in the same state and etc. charge different prices for the same thing. Like one condition you have or procedure could cost you $2,800 somewhere in one hospital, $28,000 in another, $82,000 in another. Same condition.
It's not standardized, the cost.
Anything wrong with our healthcare system, folks?
I think they're capitalizing on the region of the average income, maybe, of the region where the hospital is located.
That could be.
Capitalist system is very sleazy.
One could stay at the Waldorf for what you pay for a hospital room these days.
Oh, they call it room and board, by the way.
Yeah, room and board.
When they send the bill.
What is it, a boarding house?
For that lousy food designed by a person who has a master's degree in dietetics, whatever, a registered dietitian, a master's degree to slap together garbage.
Sugar and powdered eggs and
yeah, and very small portions for the money they charge, and a little studio apartment, not even a little space, and they call it room and board. It's all about the bottom line. Forget about ethics and what's the right thing to do, what's right. It all goes out the window. It's all about greed of the American capitalist system. Now, will this information go viral on the internet? Most likely, no. What do people respond to? They respond to the most idiotic, retarded, asinine things on the internet. If all we did was farted and laughed at our own farts and smelled our finger, we would probably get millions and millions of hits. Literally, that's America. But then again, America votes for Republicans, so I rest my case. But yeah, Angelina Jolie has a particular gene, right? That is hereditary.
BRCA1, I think. BRA.
Yeah. So based on what if, this so supposed this 80% chance of her getting breast cancer, and based on that fear, she sacrificed both her breasts. So stupid. Another sucker for the U.S. healthcare system and the drug companies.
Well, for years and years and years, women have been sacrificing their uterus, unnecessary hysterectomies, and kids with their unnecessary tonsillectomies.
Tonsillectomy? What uterus? What about women that sacrifice their uterus and ovaries unnecessarily?
Yes,
and then guess what? They're given a prescription for synthetic estrogen.
Hormone. Yeah.
Hormone replacement therapy. The
horse piss.
That's Premarin. A pregnant horse's urine. A pregnant female horse's urine. A mare. Yeah, that's how they make the Premarin. But regardless of what estrogen they get, it's a drug company increasing their profits tremendously.
Whoa.
Prescribing more drugs. Now you don't have ovaries, ladies. Then you have to get a prescription for the rest of your life to take this synthetic drug estrogen with a whole bunch of negative side effects. And just like all drugs, if you get the negative side effects, they just give you a prescription.
Another drug to
take care of the side effects, and then it goes on and on and on. Doesn't end.
Next thing you know, you're on all these drugs for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as cure.
Well, not in their eyes.
In their eyes.
Not in their eyes. The
allopaths. It's all chronic, and that's because healthcare in this country is a business. That's why. So as long as the doctor can have you for a meal ticket for the rest of his life, hey, he's paying his mortgage and his Mercedes from you, That's what he's all about.
Yeah. Well, anyway, again, I apologize for the very rude interruption that pissed the fucking shit out of me. But let us begin with the readings.
The reading.
I don't know what's worse, the phone call from the hi y'all howdy partner, or the actually,
At what age is it possible to check the IQ of a baby or a very young child?
I know
Tests aren't reliable before the age of 4. And even afterward, they will tell you mainly what you already know. That your child is faster or slower than usual, or somewhere in between. Plus, the best tests must be administered individually by a trained clinician, which is costly. Intelligence can't be measured like height or weight. So IQ numbers at any age will only label a child unnecessarily, sometimes harmfully.
That's all these type A personality, young generation yuppie parents. They want their kids to be successful before they even start playing with toys.
And they want them to play with the right toys.
Yeah, they all they think about is achievement,
guns,
goals, money. No, I'm not talking about
guns for girls.
I'm not talking about the NRA parents. I'm talking about these corporate whore yuppie parents that want they're so worried about what college their kid is going to be able to get into. Meanwhile, the kid didn't even pick up his first toy yet.
He's still in the high chair picking up Cheerios.
Right,
stuffing them into his mouth.
Let the poor kid enjoy his or her childhood, because your childhood only comes but once in a lifetime, and it's not that long really compared to all the anguish and heartache and torture you have to go through as an adult.
The tests are useful for certain applications, but not as routine assessments of individuals, least of all, small children.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, like I said, let the kid enjoy his or her childhood. You know, he's got a. I mean, why put the burden of responsibility on a little baby's shoulders when it shouldn't be there? You know, if you yuppie parents out there, if all you care about is what kind of car you're driving and everything, and
A Beamer, baby. A Beamer.
or a Mercedes or whatever, or how big your house is and what neighborhood you live in and everything, if you want to live in the world and not be spiritual, you do that. But don't force your kid into the same mold, you know. I mean, let the kid have fun. You know, get off his back, for God's sakes, about these achievements and goals and everything. Maybe these people are Republicans and they're afraid they might have to financially help their child when it grows up. So maybe they want the kid to be like a super rich, genius, you know, Nobel Prize winner right away.
Who knows?
Because they're so greedy.
Who knows?
Right-wing people. And they're stingy, too.
NASA's planet-hunting Kepler telescope is broken.
Kepler. Now, this is separate from the Hubble?
That's correct.
Is this a more updated version of the Hubble, you
I don't know which went up there first.
Oh, the Hubble.
I believe the Kepler went up first. I'm not sure. Do not quote me.
All right, go ahead.
Potentially jeopardizing the search for other worlds where life could exist outside our solar system. If engineers can't fix, the failure could mean an end to the $600 million mission search. Although the space agency wasn't ready to call it quits on Wednesday, the telescope has discovered scores of planets, but only 2 so far are candidates for habitable planets. I wouldn't call Kepler down and out just yet. NASA said the spacecraft lost the second of 4 wheels that control its orientation in space. With only 2 working wheels left, it can't point at stars with the same precision. In orbit around the Sun, 40 million miles from the Earth, Kepler is too far away to send astronauts on a repair mission, which, like the one which the others fixed when they fixed a mirror on the Hubble telescope.
Mm-hmm.
Over the next several weeks, engineers on the ground will try to restart Kepler's faulty wheel or find a workaround. The telescope could be used for other purposes, even if it can no longer track down planets. Kepler was launched in 2009. Sounds to me like the Hubble went first.
Yeah, the Hubble went first, and they tried to upgrade the Hubble. I don't know if they were able to do so, you know, using the space shuttle.
Yeah.
You know, I know it needed an upgrade. But.
So far, Kepler has confirmed 132 planets and spotted more than 2,700 potential ones. Its mission was supposed to be over by now, but last year NASA agreed to keep Kepler running through 2016 at a cost of about $20 million a year. Just last month, Kepler scientists announced the discovery of a distant duo that seems like ideal places for some sort of life to flourish. The other planets found by Kepler haven't fit all the criteria that would make them right for life of any kind, from microbes to man. While ground telescopes can hunt for planets outside our solar system, Kepler is much more advanced and is the first space mission dedicated to that goal. For the past 4 years, Kepler has focused its telescope on a faraway patch of the Milky Way, hosting more than 150,000 stars, recording slight dips in brightness, a sign of a planet passing in front of the star. Now, we can't point where we need to point. We can't gather data. Scientists said there's a backlog of data that they still need to analyze, even if Kepler stopped looking for planets. I think the most interesting, exciting discoveries are coming in the next 2 years. The mission is not over. Scientists who have no role in the Kepler mission mourn the news. They said the latest loss means the spacecraft may not be able to determine how many Earth-sized planets are in the Goldilocks zone, where it's not too hot and not too cold for water to exist in liquid form.
And life, of course.
On the surface. Well, usually where there's water, there may be life.
Where there's water, there may be life.
And
now,
while they praise the data collected by Kepler so far, they said several more years of observations are needed to nail down that number. This is one of the saddest days in my life. A crippled Kepler may be able to do other things, but it cannot do the one thing it was designed to do. In 2017, NASA plans to launch TESS, T-E-S-S, Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, designed to search for planets around nearby stars.
You ever see that? You see that banner I posted about a detailed explanation of the energy that Nikola Tesla invented?